Hey, what's going on? Regular old dude here, back with another song. Before we dive into it, if you're new to the channel, I listened to a song for the first time here with you on camera. Then I shut the camera off, listened to the song 5 more times, concentrating on different aspects of the music and the lyrics. And then I cut the camera back on, and then I break the song down and talk about it more in depth now that I've had a chance to sit with it and listen to it several more times. And as always, the goal is to expose people to music that they normally wouldn't listen to, or maybe they would listen to it, but they didn't even know of this band in a genre that they already listened to. This is all about getting the art out there and getting these bands noticed. Also, I pick the band that I'm going to listen to randomly before I start each video. I have a long master list which now consists of about 300 bands thanks to people's suggestions and comments along the way. And right before I cut the camera on, I use a random selection program. I cut and paste that entire list into it, and it gives me one name, and that's the name I go with. I quickly get online, see what albums and songs are available for me to listen to with you, and then I try to pick a song that is higher up on their list of songs that people listen to. That way it's a little more familiar. I don't want to go so far down into an album that the song I'm listening to is not indicative of their work. But sometimes with the obscure bands where I'm seeing there's only less than 1,000 listens on any of their songs, I'm just picking the song at random at the same time. Maybe I just think the name is fucking cool, but sometimes that's what I have to go with. This means that the content on here is generated not just by me looking for these bands, but by you suggesting. So make some fucking comments to bands down below that you want to see me put on the list. Okay, the band that came up randomly today is a band named Throane. And I don't know if I'm saying that right because it's a French band, and all the albums and song titles that I was able to find are in French, and I don't speak French. So I'm not going to try to butcher the pronunciation of these songs, and that also means that I was not able to find any lyrics for this album that were not in French, and just by throwing the lyrics into Google Translate and what comes out, I don't think it would be fair of me to try and gauge the lyrical content of a song that is translated by another program. So if you speak French and you want to talk to me about the song, please let me know in the comments what you think of the lyrical content and what the song's about. But for this video, since I can't get a good, true interpretation of the lyrics for the song, I don't want to butcher it or come across as not knowing what I'm talking about, because I definitely fucking wouldn't know what I was talking about because I don't speak French and the translate programs are not perfect. And the album that this song comes from, I'm going to let Google Translate at least say the French words for me so I don't sound completely inept. So this is the name of the album.
Plus une main à mordre.
One more time.
Plus une main à mordre.
There we go. And the song from that album that I have chosen to listen to is...
AUS tiré au trait.
Again.
AUS tiré au trait.
There we go. Again, if you're a French speaker and you can translate this effectively, please let me know in the comments below. Because looking at the Google Translate for what I just had you listen to into English says that the English translation is shots and lines. Let's go ahead and dive into this song, which is a long song, and I chose that purposefully since I knew I wasn't going to be doing the lyrics and wanted to do something to keep the video length at a decent level. On this album, there are songs that range all the way from just under 5 minutes to almost 12 minutes. So I picked something kind of in the middle, and this song is just a little over 9.5 minutes long. So we'll really be focusing on the instrumentation since I don't know the words. We have a lot going on right there at the beginning. Lots of screaming. I don't know if those are screams or actual words. I can't tell, but I don't think that's really that important. Definitely have this tortured feel to it. This really like strained, not like low guttural, but this high shrieking, almost like in pain or maybe in emotional distress. Not sure, but let's get back into it and see if it changes at all and transitions. I imagine it will in a song that's almost 10 minutes long. This part of the song almost feels like a relaxation after that initial just painful sounding screaming, and that drumming almost sounded like a heartbeat slowing down. I mean, these are just my initial impressions that I'm getting from it, but it's definitely an emotional piece. I can just feel the pain and the sadness in the way that the song came in. So definitely an interesting piece of music so far. Okay, time to dive back in. I'm going to back that up a little bit right to where those guitars came back in. But I'm really feeling this section here after the initial screaming feels really empty and desolate with the echoing and the pounding drums and just the like this letdown after that emotional release at the beginning. Definitely feeling this piece of music. It's really, really interesting. And I know I use the word interesting a lot, and sometimes somebody will say something is interesting because they don't like it, and it's just a way for them to not be offensive and say, I don't like that, that's shit, that's garbage, you know. But no, I'm saying that because it is interesting, and I'm interested and definitely ready to dive into these additional listens to try and break down what's going on, because I am getting these different feelings from it as I'm listening to it this first time. Back that up about 10 seconds. back that up too. There's definitely a transition there with that quick pause and that thud, and then we picked up a more regular drum pattern there. But this is kind of an emotionally draining song. And again, none of this is a commentary as to whether it's good or not. I'm just telling you how this is making me feel. And there's a lot of just, I don't have a good way to describe it. It's something about the sound itself and this ringing guitar and the notes like this. It's almost like a siren. I don't know how the fuck to say it. It's really hard to describe, but it definitely connects. And again, this is another one of those great things about music. I don't have the words to say it, but this is definitely eliciting emotions, and it's really fucking nice to just dive into something and experience it for what it is instead of, I don't know, being told what you're supposed to feel or something like that. Fuck it. Let's dive back in, but let me back up a little bit. I think putting a good set of headphones on for a song like this is really important, because I'm hearing whenever they strike that note on the guitar and it's ringing, and you can feel the distance as it goes away, and you can hear this faint rumbling in the background. It's really a lot of sound design and a lot of layering going on there that I think if you just had a little pair of earbuds in, you'd lose a shit ton of the fucking aspects of this song. And this is the opening track to this album, so this may be laying the foundation for the rest of the songs that are to come, and not having the lyrics also is a handicap as far as translating what is supposed to be going on here, what I'm supposed to be feeling, or what the song is about. But just going off the instrumentation and the composition is something that I can experience without knowing what is being said. And ready to get back into it. We are just a little over halfway through, so let's see what's going to happen here. We do have this section here where things have really tapered off, and we're into this, it feels like an expansive area where things are just too far away to reach, especially with the way those notes are ringing further and further away. Really, really fun and interesting to listen to. The way that real harsh guitar came in there just briefly, and now we're getting the, I don't know if that's horns in the background, and then the drum slowly beating. It's like something that is off in the distance in this expanse that we're in. Something is coming. It's like a herald letting us know that it is on the way, whatever it is. It could be something physical, a creature, a beast. Maybe it's this fucking feeling you have that's coming. It's like welling up in you. So there's a lot of room for interpretation. This is really a deep piece that I am enjoying diving into and coming up with my own interpretation and just talking about how it's making me feel instead of worrying about any other aspect right now. And you can let music do this for you too. Just let it take you away. Don't worry about all the other shit that's going on around you. Fuck this, fuck that. Just put those headphones on and experience the music. Don't worry about all the other things. Or maybe it can help you bring your worry down from the things in your daily life that are just total shit and everything that's going on around you. But we have about 3 minutes left. What may have seemed like an abrupt guitar coming in all of a sudden, with the headphones on, a decent pair, I could actually hear something coming. You can hear the buildup. There was a change in the sound, so it wasn't really a startling noise for me. They composed the background noise. It's almost like the air is moving and you can just feel that that guitar tone was coming. It wasn't like a fade in with the guitar, like it was really low and then they brought it up really quick. It was more like there was something moving in the music to let you know that something was coming and to not be startled by it. Or maybe the intention was to have you startled by it, but I could actually hear that movement in the music. The change was about to come there. So definitely enjoying this a lot. I know I say a lot of the same adjectives, like it's interesting, I'm enjoying this is fun. It's because my vocabulary is not that fucking great, but that's okay. That's not something I need to worry about. Let's finish this song out. We have about 1.5 minutes left, so I'm going to let it ride the rest of the way out and not stop it anymore. And then we'll see what we think at the very end here. That song was by Throane, and this definitely feels like a piece of music that you have to experience and not be looking for a catchy hook or a beat in there or anything conventional that you would normally be looking for in music, unless you're somebody that's been listening to this type of music for a long time, and then you know how to experience it properly. And that's not really a good way to say that, because what is proper? How should you experience music? You should experience it however the fuck you want to experience it. Don't let people tell you that you should listen to this or shouldn't listen to this, or this is the good stuff and this is bad. Fuck that shit. Just listen to what you want to listen to and don't worry about what people think. And I will be sitting with this song for about an hour, because it's almost 10 minutes long, so 5 more listens, that's 50 minutes. So I'm going to shut the camera off. I'm going to really push on the sides of my headphones and make sure I can focus in and come back. And I don't think I'm going to replay the entire 9 minute and 38 seconds, because we listened to the whole song just now, even though I broke it up by pausing it every now and then. But I want to just come back and highlight some of the more interesting and important aspects of it as far as I'm concerned and what I'm getting from it. So, see you in just a couple of seconds. Okay, I'm back. I listened to the song 5 more times, and most of the time I listened to it with my eyes closed and my hands pressed over my headphones, because I really wanted to focus in on the nuances of the song and the way the song made me feel. It's very unsettling and very uneasy. Maybe it's because of that droning work of the guitar, or the strings or horns or whatever is going on in the background. It's very disconcerting. Makes you very uncomfortable. And again, not a criticism. Sometimes in order for art to make an impact on somebody, the shit needs to make you feel uncomfortable. So there's nothing wrong with that. And like I said, I'm not going to just play the entire 10-minute song again. I just want to go over some of the highlights of things that really meant something to me as I was going through this additional group of listening to it. So when we come in, it starts out, it's frantic, it's got all that just raw energy, and it almost feels like pain to me. But I want you to pay attention. I'm going to go to about 1:15 in, and once we stop with that frantic pace at about the 1:20 mark, and it slows down, and the drums are more of the centerpiece, they step forward. Also listen really close. You can hear, at least what I think I can hear, is the bass guitar in the background, that like rumbling noise as it's playing. And then at about the 1:45 mark, there's this quick little flourish with the cymbals on the drums that I don't really know how to explain it, what it would be called, other than it's just like this quick little flutter. Almost sounds like a mistake. I don't know if it was a mistake that they decided to leave in, or if it was intentional. It may have been intentional, because when it happens, we only get a few more beats of the cymbals, and then they stop for a brief period before the guitar kicks back in at about the 2:40 mark. So we're going to listen to this section. Again, it's about 1 minute and 20 seconds long, from when the guitar and the franticness stops, and the drums and that rumbling bass and that little flourish with the cymbals, and then the guitar will come back in, and then I'll stop it. going to see me focusing on these areas more than the guitar-centered areas. Not that there's anything wrong with the guitar parts. They're interesting also, but it's just that these sections made a bigger impact on me. They felt different to me. They felt just large and expansive and lonely. It was just very moving parts of the song beyond the guitars and the vocals that really struck something with me when I listened to it. Now we're going to jump ahead quite a bit. We're going to get to about the 5-minute mark, and the echoing expanse, the way things feel just grand and fucking large, like they could just go on forever, like you're just in this endless wasteland. I think I just said endless wasteland. It's going to go on for a little bit. I want you to really focus in, especially if you have a good set of headphones. Turn the volume up to a non-dangerous level. Don't fuck up your hearing. But listen, you can hear, like I was saying the first time, you can hear the movement of the air, maybe in the room when they were recording it, and this just rumbling like storm in the background. Just fucking interesting shit. I mean, this really, the layers of it there. And also, I almost forgot, having headphones on, a decent pair, because I put my earbuds on and it lost a lot of the dynamics. So I wanted to hear if there was a difference. And yes, if you can afford a decent set of headphones, buy them for when you want to just sit down and experience and listen to music. Buy a good set of headphones. It made a big difference for me. This set that you see me using all the time, this was the first like real set of headphones I bought since maybe I was like a teenager. So I didn't buy them then, my parents bought them for me. But buying a good pair of headphones has really helped me appreciate music a lot more. So we're going to listen to this echoing expanse in this large moving area, and then about 45 seconds into that, the guitar riff, that like really harsh riff, kind of heralds in a change in this big fucking expanse that we're listening to. And you'll hear like we've crossed the threshold. There's like a new foreboding. The drums, the way they sound, it changes. And I'm going to let that go on for about a minute just so you can feel what I'm talking about. This is that large expanse. And you can hear it, the air, the rumbling in the background. Like something's coming. Riff is in about 15 seconds. Something has changed. Focus in here, you can really hear it in the background, that rumbling building towards what's going to be the guitar coming back in here in about 30 seconds, but you can feel something coming. You can just feel it. I don't have a better way to say it, but it's fucking intense. back into the guitar and the lyrical parts coming up again. And again, I'm not focusing on those because I'm not talking about the lyrics, so I'm focusing more on these areas that have this effect on me that is really, really an emotional experience. It's really fucking awesome. I need more adjectives. I'm using the same ones quite a bit. So if you want to leave some new adjectives in the comments below, do that shit too. And this last part I want to go over here right before the song ends at about the 8-minute, 20-second mark, and for about 40 seconds long. I want you to really focus in because we got the guitar playing and it's not changing its tone or its octave, or I don't know how to fucking say it, but it's not changing a lot. It's going up and down a little bit, but if you really focus in, you can hear the bass in the background going up and down and changing through different parts of this next 40 seconds, which I found extremely interesting. That was fucking enjoyable. Even though I didn't know the words and I don't speak the language, none of that matters. The music, I got the feeling from it. And I will definitely listen to the rest of this album. It's about a 45-minute album, so another 35 minutes stretched out over another 5 tracks. So I imagine this whole album is a piece together. Just like the very first song I did for the channel, one of the commenters on Fucking a Ghost in Chains of Ice said that it's hard to pick a song off of an album when the whole thing is one piece of music together, one concept that you have to have all the parts to get the whole. And I think that's probably the case here, that I can't just pick a song out and expect it to be the entire experience. There's probably a lot more going on in the other songs as a full album, unlike like pop music, where you can have a one-off song that has nothing to do with the rest of the album. It's just a song all in itself, and you don't need the other stuff around it as a composition to really make sense of that one song. Whew. There we go. That was Throane. Really want to dive into some more of their music and carve out some time where I can just sit there for 45 minutes to an hour and just listen to the whole album from front to back and experience it as one piece of music. I thank you for joining me for this song. Also, make sure you thumbs up, you hit that like button. We want to get these songs up in the search results, and having more likes on it, I imagine, is part of the Google. I say Google because I think they own YouTube now. So the algorithm that goes into that, to say somebody types in Throane, and then if the video has a bunch of likes, that's what's going to come up first, or maybe a bunch of plays, or maybe it's a combination. I don't know. I'm not into the internet technology. My wife, that's her field. She knows all that shit about search engine optimization and shit like that. So maybe I'll ask her and she'll just give me a definitive answer and I won't have to speculate anymore. But hit the like button, click the little bell. So, because that little thing, if you hit that fucker, anytime I put out a new video, you'll get an alert, whether it's by email or it'll pop up on your screen or something that lets you know, hey, dumbass got off his lazy butt and put out a new song and he's talking about it. So hey, go check it out because he's semi interesting. So please click the little bell too, and make those suggestions. Let me know what you want to hear on the channel. Again, don't give a shit about the genre or the type of music or whatever you want to call it. If you think it's a band that's interesting to listen to, if there's something in the song that's worth interpreting, if you think that it's just a very solid or interesting piece of art, put it in the comments and I'll put the band on the master list to select from, and we'll get to it eventually. I appreciate everybody that watches and comments and does all this stuff. Thank you so much. Make sure you go out and you share this and any other music with people around you. Share art. Let it get out there in the masses. Let people experience it and have that experience with you. Listen to something that's different. Listen to that new shit. Don't just stay in your pocket listening to the same type or the same bands all the time. Get out there. Listen to that new shit. I love every one of you. I'll see you next time. I'm out.